All the podiatrists her mom turned to refused to take this little girl because she's only 5 years old, she's so little. But something terrible happened because she put her hand under the metal door, pinched her finger, and ended up with a broken phalanx. Well, they saved her finger, everything is fine there, but then she developed a scar and of course she completely lost her entire nail plate. Well, fortunately they found a good trauma doctor who prescribed a very effective ointment for scars, and now the scar is almost invisible. I mean, there's just a small mark left, but it doesn't really bother her anymore. But what her mom is really worried about is that it's been several months already and the nail is growing, somehow. Well, not exactly the way she would like. I mean, it's kind of folded like an accordion in some places, and there are some uneven lines along the free edge. It feels like there are actually, well, two pieces of the nail plate. She wrote to us, sent a photo, and I decided to take a look. So of course I didn't promise this girl anything, and during the examination I suggested to her mom that I could do a cleaning for her. Because among this girl's complaints was also the fact that since her little nail was sticking out, she kept catching it on everything. And of course this was also causing additional trauma. Of course her mother asked me what could be done, but I explained that in this situation time would actually help, and you can also stimulate it by rubbing in regular oil. Here I'm showing two options from Domex, avocado oil and grapeseed oil. We'll definitely apply it at the end. Well, the cleaning itself involves working with specialized pedicure nippers. Usually these are used for ingrown nails, but I also use them for these kinds of difficult cleanings because the work here is very, very meticulous, and the finger of this 5-year-old girl is really, really tiny. Look, compared to her little finger, my fingers look just huge. And of course I was practically holding my breath while working, doing it in very small pieces, carefully, so it wouldn't hurt her and so that under no circumstances would I damage the nail plate. At the end, I'll show you how her finger looks after some time. So using nippers, I removed all the parts of the nail plate that were sticking out, and then I moved on to the drill bits. In this situation, I chose to use diamond drill bits specifically. I didn't even consider using carbide ones because the nail plate is very, very thin and very flexible, and I didn't want to risk causing any unnecessary injury. I'm working almost in the air, just barely touching. Honestly, I didn't even finish cleaning it completely, because at this stage it's not really about aesthetics, but just making sure it doesn't catch on anything as much as possible. But the main thing is not to scare the child, because of course she was worried and thought it might hurt. But I did everything that was in my power at that moment, and the girl was satisfied because it didn't hurt. We cleaned it gently. As you can see, after using the antiseptic, more areas appear that need to be treated. By the way, right now I'm working with nippers, and as always, I'll definitely show the pictures on the screen. And after we've cleaned everything up, all that's left is to treat it with oil. I explained to her mom that it's best to apply the oil every day, or even better, twice a day. And the main thing is to do this kind of massage, ideally for about 5 minutes, of course, or as long as they can manage. This is simply needed to get blood flowing to the finger, to stimulate the growth of the nail plate, so everything actually works in a very straightforward way. Plus, its elasticity will also increase, and there will be extra hydration. In general, this definitely won't hurt anyone. This is the simplest way to stimulate nail growth. Now I'd like to show you how the finger looks after some time, because we agreed that they would share the progress. That is the moment when she came on October 19th and then on November 6th. Write in the comments what you think about our progress.